Hey, Toss, how you doing? How was your holidays?
Terrific holiday. My son and I were having a lively debate. We were trying to decide which game is the worst for the Xbox 360, Battlefield 4 or Halo.
Okay, well, I thought you had said something in the past that Halo was really crappy for you, or I can't remember which one it was.
Briefly, it was Battlefield 4 because there's a glitch. I can't play the campaign.
Ugh, well, that sucks.
Thank you.
But that's Microsoft for you. Make desktop environment will be available in Ubuntu 14.04. That's right. The next release will be able to give you the option to download Mate. And then I imagine if you want to have Compiz and all the really cool effects, that'll be coming out. So good news indeed for a lot of you who do not care for the Unity desktop. All right. And also, for those of you who are using Chromium on Linux, it appears that Adobe Flash will stop working from April. Now, there is some good news for those of you who are using the Chromium web browser. You would be able to install the Pepper Flash plugin, which would allow you to keep using Flash. But this is just another sign of our times, Toss. It seems that, Flash, support is going away, and everybody's starting to embrace HTML5. How do you see it?
Boy, it sure seems that way. Stay tuned for further details, but apparently HTML5 seems to be the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steam also made some news. Huge boost for Steam OS with built-in AMD and Intel GPU support has been added. Valve has made huge strides since the announcement of their much-anticipated Steam OS, and now they have updated their site to show that they now support both the ATI drivers and the Intel. So if you have SteamOS installed, all you have to do is run your updates and system upgrade, and you can get all the updates necessary, and you can power your cards and all that other good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. Say, Toss, do you use Gmail?
Uh-oh, sure, yes, why?
An upcoming Gmail change will allow random G+ users to email you. When I read this, I wanted to pull my hair out of my head, Toss, because now that means anybody that knows who I am can start sending me junk email. But the good news is they won't know what your email address is unless you actually respond to them. And also in the email announcement that they sent me, they showed you how you could shut this feature off, which of course I immediately did. And so now anybody who sees me on G+, if you try to email me, it ain't going to get to me because I blocked everybody on G+ from directly emailing me that way. Anybody that has my email address already knows how to contact me. And then, of course, if you really want to email me, sign up for the forum at cupoflinux.com and hit the email link there. And and then you can.
So it is an option. So it's not being forced, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, by default, it appears that it's on, because when I went and checked, it looked like it was on, that it could allow people from my circles to contact me. But the thing is, I've lost count of how many people I have in my circles, Toss. So, and I don't want everybody to be able to contact me through there. I mean, if somebody wants to contact me on G+, all they have to do is just post something with my name on it, and I'll get the message and I'll respond that way. Why?
True.
I really don't want to have all that clutter in my mailbox,
True, yes.
What you got, Toss?
Well, let's see. Panasonic apparently has partnered with Mozilla Firefox to build Panasonic TVs with Firefox OS due out, I believe, later this year. So if you are a fan of Panasonic products, which I am, I like Firefox. There you go. Something to look forward to.
Awesome stuff. And also in the news, it appears that Red Hat has embraced rival CentOS. And for those of you who don't know what CentOS is, basically it is enterprise Red Hat Linux that has pretty much been unbranded, and it gives you the enterprise desktop experience for your home or your small business, and allows you to have an enterprise Linux distribution without paying for Red Hat support. And so in an unexpected announcement, Linux leader Red Hat is now partnering with the CentOS Community Linux project. CentOS is a clone of Red Hat's crown jewel, the Red Hat Linux Enterprise platform, and in some circles has been seen as a rival of providing a free alternative to Red Hat subscription pricing. Now, it appears that, so they're going to be joining forces to some degree here. More will be revealed in the future as we find out. And speaking of RPM distros, we know OpenSUSE has been making a lot of headway. Well, it appears that OpenSUSE's forums has been hijacked and emails have been leaked. Yep, and something similar to this happened on the Ubuntu forums. So for those of you who have a membership to the OpenSUSE forums, my recommendation, get in there, change your passwords, and that sort of thing. Now, according to the article, the forums were hijacked and an alleged Pakistani hacker who goes by the handle Hacksaw Hussey reported exploiting the vulnerability in vBulletin 421 software, which SUSE uses to host the forum. And vBulletin is a proprietary forum software. The good news is that sensitive data like user passwords has not been compromised. Okay, so cool deal. So, yeah.
You had mentioned Steam. I believe Valve has partnered with a bunch of manufacturers. I believe 12 of them, if I get this right.
13 of them, actually.
Okay. There's only one name I recognize, and that's Alienware to build the Steam box. So very good news for all you gamers out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it appears that Chromebooks is giving MacBook a run for its money. And Microsoft was right to worry about Chromebooks, and it seems like Apple should be worried too. In a recent report by research firm NPD Group, Chromebooks soared past Apple's MacBooks in terms of commercial sales. And I'm looking at this chart here, and it appears here when I'm looking at this, in terms of sales, Chromebooks has actually passed market share in terms of Android tablets, and it's rapidly approaching in term. It got 9.6% of market share, where iPads have 15.8 presently. But the year before, there was less than 0.3% in terms of Chromebooks. Okay, so Microsoft is really worried about this. And Satos, have you ever heard of that website called Scroogled?
I've heard of the name, yeah.
Okay, well, they got the Pawn Stars in on this, and they put up a website spreading all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt about Microsoft products. And they've gone even as far as giving retailers a benefit by, trying to push, the Microsoft products and that sort of thing. They're spreading all of this fear, uncertainty, and doubt where you can't use the Chromebook without the internet, that Google is spying on you to send you ads. But what they are not mentioning is that you have the ability to shut these features off, much like in Ubuntu, where you can shut off the shopping lenses. You can also set your privacy preferences. But we all know Microsoft still has the back doors allowing the U.S. government to spy on the rest of the world and everything, where, the Chromebooks don't.
I love my Xbox 360. I love my Windows 7. But Microsoft, stop bashing other and just build something better. Just build it better. Impress me. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. The way the article that I'm reading here off the Mucktyware website reads, it says, now Microsoft is terrified of Google's Chromebooks, but the company is not fighting back by offering users a better product because it doesn't have any. Windows 8 is a bigger disaster than Vista, but it's not just Windows 8. The entire Windows platform is becoming obsolete as our computing is moving to the cloud. And Google is sitting at the center of the market where this is concerned right now. So Microsoft is fighting back, with their Scroogle campaign. And I had to laugh at a lot of the stuff. I visited the website and read a lot of the information. But to be more informed about it, I also read a lot of the rebuttals. And in some cases where Microsoft was saying, yes, you have an unusable device, if you don't have the internet. And that's not true because apparently the Chromebooks does have an offline mode. So if you downloaded applications, applications, you know, you would, you know, if you were to take your Chromebook on a plane, you know, you would still be able to edit your Office documents. You would still be able to play an occasional game and that sort of thing in offline mode. So it is not completely useless as they would have everybody believe.
Chromebooks are flying off the shelves, as it were. I believe deservedly so, at least as an option. I mean, Microsoft has some truth. It's not a full-featured piece of machinery like a full-featured Microsoft Windows laptop. I mean, as far as the whole Microsoft platform being obsolete, I still think Windows 8 is perfectly fine for touchscreens. I don't have an issue with that. I have it in my VirtualBox. It's fun to play with, and I have to admit, it looks cool. It's designed for touch. We know that, but I give Microsoft credit at least for designing something different. It's not the same old, same old. The thing with Windows 8 is not the technology, it's the cosmetics, and it takes some getting used to. But as far as, Windows 7, I still use it. No blue screens yet, not a single one. So I have to give credit where credit is due. But this other bandwagon with bashing like the other guys, that's not helping the cause. No.
It's funny though, because, they even had, Microsoft even had a bashing campaign with the mobile phones and that sort of thing. And I think they were attacking Android and iOS, and it was like a wedding and everything goes amok.
I did enjoy that. That was a pretty funny
that was a good video. And
I'll give them a plus for that. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, 2013 has seen a lot of really neat things coming to the Linux world as we know it. And, we're starting to see more and more products using the Linux platform. And so I do believe Microsoft has every reason to be scared, especially when we're seeing a trend on the rise where people are buying more and more Linux-based devices and using them. And, where PC sales have really dropped dramatically, Chromebooks sales have just been going up and up and up on the rise. And this is probably a trend that we could expect to see in 2014. What do you think about that?
PC sales, for whatever reason, are not selling. I still have a PC here, talking to you now. I still prefer a PC, although a Windows laptop with multiple cores would probably do the same job. As far as desktops and laptops, I don't think Microsoft really has to worry there, but they have to keep up with technology, and I just don't believe that, trying to, it's one thing to make fun of the other guy and as a joke, but to constantly pound it in to trash the other company or companies, it's some of the commercials are funny and that's fine, but after a while it becomes a bit tasteless.
Yeah, they really need to start making better products that people will want to buy rather than bashing the other person. I have to agree.
And they are fully capable of that. They are. Just put your heads together and think for the future.
But the thing is, they also have to worry about the price, the bottom line, because obviously manufacturers are putting Android and Linux-based devices to pass the savings on to the end user. And, Microsoft, on the other hand, they're having a higher price margin to work with there, and it makes it very hard for them to compete. And, these guys on IRC are egging this on, Toss. I had Teddy and Bullet Freak. So everybody wants to hear their favorite song. NSA! NSA! Everybody loves the NSA! Toss, we got to learn how to sing that in two-part harmony.
I don't think so.
Obama to unveil NSA surveillance reforms. Hot off the press, U.S. President Barack Obama will unveil his proposal to reform the National Security Agency's surveillance programs next week, the White House announced. The White House said the president will make the announcement in a speech January 17th. And he will be making remarks to discuss the outcomes of the work that has been done in the review process. White House spokesman Jay Carney said at the daily briefing the president has been clear throughout this review process that we will not harm, quote, we will not harm our national security or our ability to face global threats. He said measures are to create more transparency and give American people more confidence. Yeah, right.
What can I say? As long as I'm secure, I'll take the deal.
Stable or horse stable, Toss?
Let's go into nonsense, shall we?
Uh-oh, here it comes, kids.
These are true, actual stories. Chile's first drawbridge, $30 million project. Spatry apparently has a small problem.
What?
It was built backwards.
I don't get it.
This $30 million project, it says here that the bridge traffic decks were installed incorrectly. I guess that means backwards. I guess the bridge is unusable. Chilean President Sebastian Pinera does not find it so funny. He's the president. I guess this bridge was supposed to connect two pieces of land, Valdivia and Teja Island. I hope I'm saying it right. He says that the bridge will be fixed by the same company that made the bridge and made the mistake. Really? That's the route you want to go, Mr. President? I've never heard of that.
Maybe they should just make an underground tunnel or something like that.
But wait, this gets better. The company responded saying, and I quote, "The controversy about the bridge being built upside down is meaningless, as both sides are symmetrical and it has no structural problems." Yeah, but it's backwards. That's all. One more piece of nonsense, unless you have something.
No, I don't have any nonsense this week.
Scientific news. Apparently, dogs like to poop in alignment with the Earth's magnetic field.
That is the crappiest story yet.
I knew you were going to say. I knew it. First of all, why would you even care? And how did they find this out? This is just as bad as the dinosaur story, right?
Yeah, but you know what? This is probably believable. Go on.
Well, for some of our listeners who are thinking, are like, what you mean by dinosaurs? There was a story last year in one of the scientific journals that the new theory of the extinction of dinosaurs was because of too much methane, meaning they gassed themselves to death. That's why we say a crappy story. But this one is probably more believable than that. Of course, we can't prove that one. This one, they can probably prove it. And you know what, Spatry? I just had a thought for Jurassic Park 4.
Oh?
Instead of two T-Rexes fighting each other out, trying to chew each other to death, maybe they could just join butt cheeks. Maybe they can try to gas each other to death in a gas fight, you know.
Yeah. That would be hard to pull off with CG. Well, probably not, but
no, with technology, it's very believable.
So how does this work with the alignment of the Earth and that sort of thing? Where canine feces is concerned here.
Apparently, they say that dogs are sensitive because of their hearing and their sense of direction or something like that, that they, for whatever reason, they prefer to poop in that alignment, which is what, north and south. I believe it because I believe many times that dog poop is magnetically tied to my freaking shoes every day. But no, they found this out. I don't know if they were actively seeking this, but they're still studying it to see if it has any positive, feedback for humanity, I suppose. But they said the females slightly do it differently than the males. I don't know what that means, but I just thought it was an interesting scientific story.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've had enough of this, haven't you, Toss?
Yeah, too much crap floating around.
And I didn't even wear my boots.
Oh.
Take us out, Toss.
All right, well, I'll pass the Lysol because of all the stench around here. But no, thank you, Spatry, for joining me again. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you.
Thanks to everybody here in the Linux distro community listening room. Oh, one last thing. Please, if you haven't already, vote for the best Linux operating system for Windows users. Of course, Windows XP expires, I believe, Spatry, in April. Millions of people, so many millions of people are stuck on it still. It's been around a long time. To its credit, it's still usable, but officially this April 14th this year, I think. So please vote. I'll have links below in the show notes. I won't give it away. It's a tie right now, but yeah.
But yeah, while we're on this real quick, I still say Zorin OS 8 will make an excellent contender, be an excellent replacement for Windows XP users.
Yes.
And we also talked about Linux Mint. But I have a review coming up tomorrow. Where I'm going to be looking at something that's still a beta. And normally I don't review betas, but this has a lot of potential to be something really great. And, so this is something that would be good for people to download and try it out and test it out. And during the review, I'm also going to do some tutorials to add functionality to it. And it is called a Q4OS. It's still in beta, but it looks a lot like Windows XP, without the fancy decorations and everything. Basically, it looks like I don't know, Windows, a combination of Windows XP and Windows 98. And it looks and behaves a lot like Windows. It's very user-friendly to a degree, but it has a few caveats, as I'll discuss in my review for that tomorrow. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that one. And as the days progress, I'm also going to be looking at some other distros that would be a great replacement for those of you who are running Windows XP machines and you want to try moving over to Linux rather than replacing that hardware with something new. Keep those machines working.
Cool. One last thing I just remembered. I did my first podcast about Mac computers. For all of the people out there who are asking, I don't have a Mac computer yet. Quick shout out, though, to Charlie Henson, another YouTuber, does tutorials, very simple stuff. I believe he has switched to Mac, and he was very helpful. So the video, I believe I called it Mac Computer for Dummies. For those of you who are thinking about buying a Mac computer or have one and want some tips, quick shout out to him. So yes, my first video about, or my first podcast about Mac computers.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Well, that's all I've got. Once again, thank you all of you for joining us. And we'll be back next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. After my son and I solved this debate between Halo and Battlefield 4, shouldn't be a problem.
All right. And I'm surprised we got through this a lot faster than I thought we were going to get through this because we didn't have a news report last week. So, yeah.
Well, you and I are professionals. Now pass the Lysol, will you?
Yeah. All right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Today's show was brought to you by the Linux Distro Community. Visit us today at linuxdistrocommunity.com and chat with us on Mumble or in IRC on the Freenode network in the Linux Distro Community channel. The Linux Distro Community. Freedom through the sharing of knowledge.